broadcasting to you, Captain Fog and Valently. Take it away.
Well, I'm certainly interested to see if Chip goes for the fox first, anticipating Zeno to go for boar. So we haven't yet seen someone try to counter a fox.
Yeah, Chip going for those falcons this time instead of snakes like he's done a couple times in the past. Mirrored unit tier 1 units from both players, that fox from Chip, and landmines again. So just switching out the snakes for falcons here.
Zeno almost correctly predicts what'll happen and wins the rock, paper, scissors. Hopefully it doesn't come to that.
All right, well, here we go. Those balloons are going to have problems, or give Chip problems with that fox there, of course. They have the same range. But here we go into Game 1 of the Grand Finals of the January campaign, Week 2. This is your first standard tournament here. ZenoAkoop as Hopper Red in the north. ChipFromSpace as Green, the quartermaster in the southwest. How you feeling about this map here, Valently?
I would give a slight edge to Chip in the early game and a much larger edge as the game progresses. The initial high ground is always the benefit. There's no going around that. But the rest of the other expands are... Zeno has one safe and one risky, and Chip has two safe.
Yeah, I love this base in the east here. One bridge to go across it, and otherwise surrounded by water. Very difficult to get to, but nowhere really to build units. Maybe one spot on the island in front of it. ZenoAkoop going for that 7-farm squirrel. ChipFromSpace going 7-farm into landmine like we've seen before. Well-placed landmine. And it looks like ZenoAkoop did not spot that landmine, so well-timed as well.
Very early expand from Zeno.
Yeah, what do you think he's trying to do with this early expansion here? Does he flesh out the units as much as possible and try and build up defenses, or go slowly?
Well, he's shown he doesn't need to get an early expand to get a fast tier 3, so I think what he might be making a play off of just Chip's playstyle. Like, this Chip has not yet pressured. Whereas other players like Deadbones or Duff will look to start to make moves much earlier on in the match. This is just taking advantage of that. However, we're seeing Chip pressure almost for the first time today.
Yeah, Chip has spotted it. There he goes. He's taken that high ground there. ZenoAkoop using his commander to give his units high ground. ChipFromSpace with 7 squirrels. ZenoAkoop with 5 now. Those Warrens tanking some damage. You see ZenoAkoop losing his commander. Those squirrels do still have vision there. And ChipFromSpace now able to sneak in here. ZenoAkoop's commander back alive now. ChipFromSpace indecisive. That pigeon is out healing the squirrels up. Just going to keep picking at these Warrens here. Let's see what ZenoAkoop decides to do. He does have 6 squirrels now pushing in there. Pigeons aren't helping his case at all there, but reinforcements coming in. Hard to say right now. Pigeons trying to heal as much as they can, but ZenoAkoop slowly pushing his way out and on top of this high ground here.
It's a huge defense by Zeno.
So ZenoAkoop defending his early expansion here on 9 farms. The longer he's on, and going up to 10 farms now, the longer he has his extra farms, the more of an advantage he's going to have. So Chip at a definite disadvantage right now with just pigeons in trade for a base and now 3 farms, which ZenoAkoop can easily defend.
Waiting to see whether Zeno goes straight for the owl or gets a skunk. Because he does like his skunks. One of his favorite units. Up there with Ferret.
Deciding instead to go for 2 pigeon warrens.
And more squirrels.
ChipFromSpace thinking about sneaking around the side, but his army would be cut off there. And ZenoAkoop with a definite strong advantage there with his squirrels hanging out in the middle of the warrens there. Going up to 18 squirrels now. ChipFromSpace going up for 3 toad warrens. Count them, 3. As ZenoAkoop does have those pigeons out, but of course those toads do almost instant damage. So tough for pigeons to heal damage from toads if the toads can get down quickly enough in succession. Skunk's going out for ZenoAkoop though. interesting choice considering he's seen that pigeons are on the field.
I think even against pigeons, skunks have a lot of value. It's like barbed wire. It's like even with pigeons, it's still a problem.
And ZenoAkoop throwing down that tier 3 Owl Warren. It's about halfway done right now. ChipFromSpace not able, of course, with... Oh, he does have his own expansion in the south here. He's just fleshed it out with 4 farms. ZenoAkoop's going to spot that right now.
He's going to make use of Xeno's scouting to start attacking. Or no, he backs out. Just in time, too. I think Xeno knew what was up.
Alright, that tier 3 Warren has finished, and there it goes. The Owl is starting to build right now. ZenoAkoop on 9 farms.
We've hit the 5-minute mark. So.
Yeah. First 4 farms of each player's main base have farmed out, and ChipFromSpace slightly behind. ZenoAkoop, of course, finishing out all of this expansion now. ChipFromSpace has as well, but Xeno's had it for a little bit longer. Of course, as shown by that tier 3 out on the field.
When he sees this alley, he's just going to have to instantly sell those mines.
Yeah, of course, owls generate free mice. Now that owl's almost out on the field. There it is, out right now. The free mice, of course, able to take out those landmines fairly easily.
Xeno's placing a balloon. Certainly a very... I mean, he's looking to expand, that's why.
Well, there we go. Taking out, whoa, 5 mines with 2 mice. That shouldn't be possible.
That's 100 food.
Yeah. So that owl already paying for a lot of itself. Not quite all of it, about half of itself with those free mice there. And ZenoAkoop just going to expand here. And he can pretty much
Chip has started to build his fox now. Or, started is the wrong word. He's almost done the fox warren.
There we go. He's building up enough food to start that fox immediately. Meanwhile, these mice are just going to harass. And I don't really know how Chip can come back from this.
Xeno's getting a far-off base. If you're up in food a lot, it's certainly a smart play to do just to see either slowly delay the person and block them from expanding or just see where their army is.
Those mice not quite doing as much. Enough squirrels to kind of fend them off, but the mines have been cleared from that side. ChipFromSpace, I guess, could consider trying to get that fox up on that high ground to attack the pigs below, but he's only going to be able to take out 1 pig. And otherwise, ZenoAkoop just sitting pretty at this front base and is going to start creeping balloons closer and closer and closer. There we go. The fox is out now. It starts to pick away at some units, but the balloon of ZenoAkoop's is out. Fox takes 1 hit. There we go. Takes 12 damage, but the pigeons are right there to heal up, so not a huge problem.
Of course, the mice are just eating the shots to feed. If the timing is in sync, it can... mouse comes out just as soon as he comes this way.
ZenoAkoop on 15 farms, though, decides to go in. Owl in the front here. We'll see if it goes down. There it goes. The owl pops. The mice are down. Squirrels and pigeons dying all around. Toads go out.
That was, like, whether intentional or not, that was great play getting the toads to explode after the owl dies.
So much skunk gas down on the field right now. Looks like the pigeons are doing a fairly good job of healing up units and lots of reinforcements coming in, but of course ZenoAkoop with those 15 farms has just enough reinforcements. Is able to take out that balloon from ZenoAkoop. Rough fighting here on this high ground. Both players do have vision. That fox is dancing around in the back, has enough units to shield, but ZenoAkoop slowly pushing down. The gas is getting farther and farther out. The fox is forced to retreat further and further back at about half health right now. Chip's got to be very careful. There we go. Fox Warren does go down. The fox is about half health. So if the fox does go down, ChipFromSpace is going to be hard pressed to replace it. Got to be careful of that sniper balloon as well. Rough fight. And I got to say, ZenoAkoop coming ahead definitely on that. Chip trying to pick away at some of these pigs with that fox there. Is able to take down 3. I'm just going to start taking out the units. But there we go, able to pull back.
Started building on this dead bones base.
Dead bones base. I think this spells the end. The toads going off. Those pigeons are there to heal up anything that doesn't get taken out completely.
It's not even waiting for the owl. He's just might have been a big mistake.
Yeah, he does have 13 farms, and ChipFromSpace is 8, and ChipFromSpace is going to have to expand fairly soon, as his farms are going to start farming out on that expansion. The owl is back out there. Toad's actually taking out a lot of squirrels there, but the owl is back out. The owl explodes 6 mice now down on the field. One last landmine does a little bit of damage, but not quite enough, taking out a lot of the meat shield from squirrels for that fox there. Fox still dancing around, taking out a lot of units, but it's very low on health now, about a quarter health. Pigeon's still there to heal it up, but ZenoAkoop's units just pushing in. He's got so many farms, so much reinforcement now. Warren after Warren is falling down, unfortunately, for
at this point, it's not like losing the 20 food every 2 seconds to the fox is like with the econ lead has doesn't matter that much. It's more about forcing just forcing all of Chip's food to go directly into the army he has now and not being able to expand again or build up more army.
ChipFromSpace has now picked off every farm on the first expansion of ZenoAkoop. Of course, Zeno has that expansion to the east. ChipFromSpace, we did hit that mark where his expansion is now almost completely farmed out. So ChipFromSpace down to 2 units right now. It's going to have to, I don't know that this fox can pick away enough, even if he picks for the rest of time. ZenoAkoop, as you said, can just afford to reinforce as much as he wants. And here he goes, going in for the death blow. Squirrels coming in here. Toads are going to come down. It's a fair number of toads and takes out a good chunk of squirrels, but 14 still left on the field for ZenoAkoop and his own toads coming out there. The fox is still alive, to ChipFromSpace's credit, but Chip is starving at 45 seconds right now. The fox does go down just barely. And
That'll
Chip,
begin.
of course, yeah, GG. ZenoAkoop taking the first match in this best of 7 set. GG.
Yeah, very close game. Like a lot of those fights could have gone either way. It was just like slight advantages.
And definitely that fox micro from ChipFromSpace was as good as we saw it, if not better than his matches with Deadbones. But ZenoAkoop being able to defend that early expansion, that first early defensive fight, definitely swung things in his favor. Here we go. We'll go into the second match shortly here. How do you think Chip is going to have to change his strategy here in order to combat an opponent like ZenoAkoop, who can take advantage of your every move and knows how much food is in your bank, even without seeing the number?
Well, I think even if you do scout at the right times, like you have to be very precise to not have a 20-second window of where your opponent has the board before you expect it. I'm expecting Chip to return to his... I mean, I didn't get back in time to see the draft, but I'm expecting Chip to go for boar this time. Just because I think Zeno's playstyle is he will try not... He does not... I don't think he wants to go for a fox if he can help it. And if it's boar versus boar, you have a much better fight. And boar, of course, does better against owl than fox. They're just
there we go.
in the drafting stage now.
Just into the drafting stage right now. There we go, ZenoAkoop getting that same tier 1 combination that works so well for him, and Ferret's signature unit for ZenoAkoop. Zeno is one of the starters of the Ferret micro, dancing around back when they had splash damage, which of course they don't now. ChipFromSpace going for 4 tier 1. Oh, nope, just 3 tier 1s. I was going to go for 4.
Chip is returning to Lizard, which is something we expected him to play for a long time. That's what, when he first came onto the team like 2 weeks ago, he was playing a lot of aggressive Lizards.
All right. ChipFromSpace going for those chameleons. That's a little bit different than what we've seen before. ZenoAkoop as Red Hopper in the west. ChipFromSpace as Green Quartermaster in the northeast. Score is currently 1-0 in favor of ZenoAkoop. ZenoAkoop with 1 game, ChipFromSpace with none in this best of 7 set. Here we go. How you feeling about this map, Valantley?
I think it slightly favors Zeno, but that slight doesn't matter too much. The big thing is if Chip can secure a second base. If he can do that, it doesn't really... I don't think the map matters too much. It really comes down to where he decides to secure it. If he goes to the north. That's probably the easiest one to secure. However, it is near high ground, and it doesn't leave the opportunity to expand southward. But if he can get a south base, that would be much trickier. But if he does, I think he'd have a better shot getting more bases should it come to that.
All right, ChipFromSpace going with that 7 farm into a very nicely placed mine here out in the front of ZenoAkoop space. So probably will take down the first squirrel that runs by that. Might not do too much more, but gives Chip a little bit of vision and scouting. ZenoAkoop going for that 7 farm Warren play into 2 Warrens of squirrels. ChipFromSpace going into lizards. Of course, lizards doing a little bit better against squirrels in the early part of the game. It should help a lot. There we go. Taking advantage of that high ground, ChipFromSpace is. That's going to make a difference if he can control that. Does have that mine on top there, of course.
Zeno is going for the toads. He's not going to be playing games with seeing how many squirrels he can get away with.
Alright, ZenoAkoop going up to 9 squirrels and 6 toads. ChipFromSpace going pure lizard into chameleons. Looks like he's going to get some chameleons out. That's going to be... They're going to be able to tank a lot of damage from those toads, I guess. But we'll see if those ferrets start coming out. They're going to be in trouble if the chameleons meet them in the middle of the field.
There's certainly a large possibility space with chameleons. However, they are much trickier than one would think to utilize efficiently. And I'm not quite sure if against toads you want chameleons.
All right, that mine does explode, takes down 1 squirrel, does a little bit more damage, but Pigeon is now out, so that damage will be quickly healed. ZenoAkoop taking advantage of the high ground there. Squirrels from ChipFromSpace not quite going in yet because those toads are in front. The chameleon is out in front. Gets taken down by squirrels, so ZenoAkoop with amazing toad micro stops them.
Just dancing around. Chip has decided he's not going to engage.
There we go. 2 toads now. Unfortunately, spawning at a bad time for ChipFromSpace, who tried to sneak around there to the side, but got taken out by just some reinforcements. Not looking good for ChipFromSpace in this game, too. 2 chameleons are out on the field, and they've been kind of streaming in one by one. There we go. Toads out now. One of them gets taken out. The second one just falls to squirrel fire. More toads reinforcing and taking out lizard after lizard. 1 Warren is now down. ChipFromSpace only has a Warren of lizards left, plus pigeons. And there we go. ZenoAkoop taking a convincing second game.
The toad dance to stop the lizards from ever attacking, but get me taunting them into trying to, was very good on Zeno's part. But I think a large part of this map just came down to the fact that Zeno was lucky enough to have 2 toads go off, resulting in 2 reinforcements of toads, which then won him the game.
Unless, of course, he did that on purpose. That would be... I would not be surprised if ZenoAkoop was able to time that.
Yes, kudos to Zeno. That's quite an amazing play. Both anticipating the wraparound and acting in an optimal way to deal with it.
All right, no more lizards for ChipFromSpace. Instead, going with that nice tier 1 build that we've seen work for so many players so far. Both players going for pigeon, squirrel, toad, falcon, actually mirroring all the way up to their tier 2s and tier 3s. So we'll see some falcon battles this time. ChipFromSpace with that boar going to be able to take out a lot of squirrels all at once. Pigeons are going to counteract that. But ZenoAkoop again with those ferrets. We'll see if he gets to dance them around like we know he loves to do so much.
Tier 3 on Zeno's side, so I'll have to see if ChipFromSpace can take advantage of that. Of course, he doesn't know, but he might figure it out.
This map is a big old donut. Nice bases around the outside and nothing in the middle.
Zeno has a bit of a ways to walk to get to an expand, unless he wants to be super aggressive.
Yeah, if he can manage to hold that high ground there. Actually, he's going to have to hold that high ground, or ChipFromSpace can take advantage of it with those squirrels. Of course, if he sits on the high ground just northwest of ZenoAkoop's main base. There we go. 7 farm into Squirrel. ChipFromSpace going for another sneaky mine. We'll see ZenoAkoop not quite gonna scout it. Oh, but his Warren is close enough to be able to scout it, so he's gonna know that there's a mine there if you look at his mini map.
This looks like I'm expecting Zeno to go for a 1 base all in, just because of the nature of how tricky it will be to. And actually, I think you could get the bases in the south, but even though like it doesn't feel as safe as one wants for an expand.
Already, well, both players at 8 farm. ChipFromSpace going for pure squirrels with that 1 mine still sitting out there in front. ZenoAkoop going to go for those pigeons instead, and also squirrels. Zeno going for fairly regular times tier 2, getting those ferrets out, but before any engagements. See how that goes against the pure squirrel army. And they're going to be able to dance and take out a fair number of squirrels as long as Chip doesn't push in to take them out.
Ferret plus pigeon is actually surprisingly good, just because it allows the ferret to do some big damage against tier 1 armies, whereas usually it's too fragile to pull that stuff off.
Ooh, but Chip with the tier 3 going to put down that boar there, going to skip tier 2 entirely. So Zeno's going to be hard pressed. That boar can tank a lot of shots even from those ferrets. Zeno throwing down some falcons now. We'll see Zeno not quite getting back there.
He knows to look for where to look.
There we go. He sees it and is able to. Oh, not quite burrow back. He's going to lose his commander. That's okay.
I think it's worth losing commander to get that information.
Oh, yeah.
However, it does add, 30 seconds of the 120 needed for. No, sorry, 80 seconds. It's 40 and 40, isn't it? The 80 seconds needed for the boar to come out.
All right, the boar is going. ZenoAkoop is pushing out right now. He's got that pigeon vision into the high ground. So there he goes. Going to start picking at Warrens. When Warren does go down, the squirrel is now meeting in front. Squirrel versus squirrel, and that falcon out in front there doing a lot of damage, scaring ChipFromSpace away.
If he can't deal with that falcon, it's going to be big trouble.
Boar is about 3/4 health out right now. We'll see if ChipFromSpace can get it out in time. Meanwhile, the ferret's picking away on that high ground. 2 Warrens down, and a farm also down, and now starting to shell those squirrels. Of course, squirrels can just move out of the way. Putting up a nice machine gun in the way. The boar is out row right now. We'll see how ChipFromSpace can use this to his advantage. And his army's got 5 pigeons, so able to heal up pretty quickly. Those falcons are going to be a lot of danger for that badger, though, or for the boar.
See how good the ferret micro is. So far, it's been able to push him off, and
Chip creeping around the outside. ZenoAkoop starts to take the bait and pulls back. A little bit of a fake out. And ChipFromSpace just bleeding units to do these machine guns right now, unfortunately.
Into the ferrets.
Yeah, and a couple of squirrels.
He is expanding, so he used the tier 3 to secure and expand. So, not what you want to have happen, but
I think it's probably his best option right now if he can keep having units reinforced quickly enough to counteract those ferret shots. Each ferret shot that lands does take out a squirrel.
He's built all of these machine guns right next to each other.
Oh no.
That's not...
Yeah, that flamethrower... Oh, there we go. Selling a couple of them, just in case. The flamethrower
Maybe
would have a fair number of damage.
May just have wanted to get at least 1 to stick and was willing to lose it to. It was 2 or 3.
Ooh, ChipFromSpace around the outside right now. ZenoAkoop taking advantage of that, picking away at some of the farms at the main base. In the middle of the donut, ChipFromSpace moving to the south.
ChipFromSpace bought every expand on the way.
So going for a base race now. Here we go. He knows that ZenoAkoop only has 2 expansions. Attacking from the south, he's going to have to get this base and get out as soon as he can, or rely on reinforcements to take through. ZenoAkoop is just going to sit back here and let that base go down. Strangely here, there we go, trying to catch this army in the back there, but ChipFromSpace is just going to start pulling out. So ZenoAkoop on 4 farms, ChipFromSpace on 5 with 4 bases, and ZenoAkoop has to defend this front one. He's got so many machine guns up front there. It's It's going to be a little bit difficult, and ZenoAkoop almost fleshing out his entire expansion. There we go. ChipFromSpace taking out more and more Warrens as we go here.
Does Zeno know that it's not going to be a good base race?
I don't know. Zeno's going to bite for the base race going in for this last base, which he thinks is the last one. His units are going to be able to come back here.
Just fast enough to be able to back in time.
Ooh, I don't know if it's going to be in time. Squirrel's melting. There we go. He's going to get the boar out if he can. Those pigeons aren't able to stop quite quickly enough. There we go. They're on the road, so they get a little bit of a speed boost. But so many units chasing this one boar and 2 pigeons now. Hiding in the background there. 5 farms. This is going to be the last stand for ChipFromSpace, who's now starving. That base does go down. The boar is down now as well, and there we go. GG. ZenoAkoop taking game 3 in the best of 7 here. 3-0 is now the score for ZenoAkoop. One more, and he's won this entire tournament. Or at least week 2. How does Chip come back from that?
That's going to be one of the more demoralizing losses. You get the boar out, and the counter to the boar is just, oh, I can't micro you. And that's pretty painful. A side note, however, is if you just abandon the boar and go for, like, say, go for an owl, like that, like just go for something rather unexpected that you haven't done yet, I think you could have a very good chance of, like, coming back.
All right. We're going to go into this final map draft here. I didn't quite make it back in time. So, Lantley, you're going to take this one.
So, Chip is going for Squirrel Toad as the standard has been, and Zeno is going Lizard. Of course, they can change their mind at any moment, so... Yeah, bench. Chip is going Wolf. That is something new. Toad, Squirrel, Ferret, Wolf, Falcon. Zeno going for the same draft as last game. And we're into the match.
All right, here we go. ZenoAkoop in the north as Hopper. ChipFromSpace in the west as the quartermaster in potentially the last game of Clash of Comrades, the January campaign, week 2, the first standard tournament. ZenoAkoop just shy of winning his second major tournament here. See how it turns out here. Both players taking those ferrets. I'm interested to see how Chip's going to deal, or is going to put that wolf up. Whether he's going to use it to buff his own farms to get food faster, or to buff his units for more damage, or faster speed.
I think
more damage.
Buffed Falcons are one of the sleeper, very powerful units. Because they're already very, like, they're on the edge of being broken kind of thing. Where, especially this map where Zeno doesn't have, or this draft where Zeno doesn't have the best counters to Falcon. Or it's like, he can build defensive structures, or he could build his own Falcon. That's really what he needs to do to deal with them. And that's not flexible enough if you manage to get a ball of Falcons going, buffed by wolves that could easily be able to engage, which last time he wasn't able to.
A little bit of a commander dance going around in the middle of the field there. Once those Falcons come out for ChipFromSpace, that high ground advantage that ZenoAkoop has of his main base is going to go away. And Chip is going to be able to start picking away at those farms at Zeno's base. But Zeno's going to expand there.
He was waiting to see what units came out, and because he saw it was Squirrel, he knows that as a unit, it's much harder to pressure it. So he's going to expand, make use of the fact that there'll be at least a minute or so before Chip is ready to attack. Or ready to attack and actually be a threat to what Zeno has.
Alright, throwing down a machine gun to try and defend against the attack that he knows is coming fairly soon. 6 squirrels there are going to defend as well. That base is down. Zeno got to throw down some falcons. We'll see if they get out in time.
Chip trying to reverse the trend of last game and going for ferrets. He saw what happened and wants to return the favor.
He does have a lot of high ground that will help those ferrets get out, and if Zeno relies too much on that machine gun, or machine guns in general like he did last game, those ferrets from ChipFromSpace will be able to start plinking away at a lot of food that ZenoAkoop has put down and committed to. Here we go, pigeons going down for ZenoAkoop. ChipFromSpace almost getting his second ferret out just now. ZenoAkoop starting to fill out this expansion here. And Chip has not responded yet with an expansion of his own, so we're going to see if he can push and do enough damage in order to negate the expansion of ZenoAkoop.
This ferret certainly makes it a possibility to put a lot of pressure on. And Zeno sells the farms, almost basically giving up the base.
Oh, and he just barely missed selling that last farm up there, so he does lose an extra 60 food that he didn't have to. Just barely missed the timing there. But 2 falcons out now for ZenoAkoop. ChipFromSpace backing off with those 2 ferrets. He does have toads out now that is going to help against that army of squirrels there, but those falcons will be a big danger. Not affected by those ferrets, and not affected by the toads either. And here they go, falcons pushing away, getting buffed by those pigeons there, but all the squirrels beneath them getting taken out. The last pigeon does go down for ZenoAkoop, but enough falcons pull up, yeah.
Both armies are decimated by that. However, I think Zeno pulls slight ahead, having 2 tier 2s left.
Yeah,
and Chip is
forced to sell a couple of warrens in order to reinforce. There he is, forced back into his own base. Doesn't have high ground vision, so he's got to use his commander there. The falcons, again, that one falcon running way into the middle of the fight. Not sure why it did that. The second falcon also going down. And the remaining squirrels forced to retreat due to those toads from the base of ChipFromSpace. ZenoAkoop trying to get that mill there to tank a few shots. We'll see. It gets taken down almost as soon as he builds it. But the damage might have been done. The first volley goes off to ZenoAkoop. Now it's ChipFromSpace running back across the field to the nice high ground safety.
Chip had 1 toad, and if it had gone off, he could have pressured, but it was killed. And he's forced to retreat.
And ZenoAkoop has sold his Falcon Warren in order to build this expansion here. ChipFromSpace has not expanded either, and we just hit that 5-minute mark just now. So those first 4 farms of each player's base have farmed out. ZenoAkoop slightly ahead as ChipFromSpace built this expansion a little bit after ZenoAkoop did. And ZenoAkoop now throwing down 3 farms, so going to have that economic advantage.
And ferrets of his own.
So Zeno saying you could play ferrets, but I can play them better. Although Chip was forced to sell his ferrets in order to expand. Fortunately. So the tables have turned. All Chip has to do now is get those falcons out, and we'll have a complete reversal of units.
I think both players are just content to let their economies recover before they start moving out.
Army value slightly in favor of ZenoAkoop at this current moment, but ChipFromSpace throwing down a lot of farms on his expansion, hoping to push through the disadvantage he has. ZenoAkoop is going to spot this just now. He's probably going to fill out an expansion of his own. Going to get taken out there. When he did call his units over, right as he was dying, so his units are all now on the high ground. ChipFromSpace retreating, unfortunately. Might have been a chance to take out some units, but not quite realizing that Zeno was dead. Zeno filling out his expansions there to try and match the 9 farms that ChipFromSpace has now. And it's going to be a little bit behind in terms of economy.
I don't think it's enough to really say he's completely behind, but it is notable. The fact that Chip going up to 21 squirrels.
All right, those ferrets shooting from just in the middle of a nice buffer of squirrels, starting to fall behind a little bit as they take shots, and those toads are scaring ZenoAkoop from taking a straight fight with the fact that he has those ferrets. He can just keep dancing them back and forth, taking out units. ChipFromSpace has no pigeons this time. ZenoAkoop relying on his pigeons. And going up to another warren of squirrels. Just going to keep pushing with those squirrels there. Pushing further out onto the map, taking that expansion. Natural, nice expansion to expand to.
Well, it's also like he's looking to take control of this middle high ground, and if he does that, he can win the game. Getting expand there certainly helps with that. I don't think it's a straight he wants more farm expand.
There we go. The toads are in. Chip from Space has said that he's had enough, but only one toad goes down. A lot of squirrels going down from ZenoAkoop, and it looks like Chip from Space is going to be able to take out this expansion here. There's a lot of squirrels there.
He got one ferret, which was pretty... I mean, it's not really key, but it is very notable, and like that 60 food.
Yeah.
Army value just goes down.
It is very important. Both players on similar economies right now, 8 and 8. Chip from Space up to 21 squirrels. ZenoAkoop only on 14. Instead, trying to go for those ferrets. Who's got to keep pushing these ferrets in order for them to get that value.
Chip is looking to build a wolf.
We go to the warren.
Warrens.
Yep. Warren is down in the middle of the field there, continuing to be contested there. Those ferrets are going to stop ZenoAkoop from falling completely behind.
I don't see what Zeno can do against a wolf. Chip can get this out. It'd be turn of the tides.
Ooh, 2 toads go down, 3 toads go down. One of them getting taken out by squirrels, and the ferret does go down. The last squirrel from ZenoAkoop also getting taken out, so just a machine gun defending his mining or his farming base right now. So Chip from Space, surprisingly, coming ahead here. That wolf is going to start building.
He had to sell some warrens to make sure it started building, taking a fight right before it finishes. One way to guarantee you won't have the food for it.
ZenoAkoop just building another ferret now. He's a little bit supply blocked. That wolf from Chip from Space now almost 3/4 of the way out. We'll see what that does. Is he going to have super toads? Is he going to have super squirrels? Is he going to have super farms? Chip from Space on 10 farms now, putting down 3 more. ZenoAkoop's going to have to think about expanding or ending the game. There he does. He has expanded in the east there. 1 farm down. Could ZenoAkoop be a little bit rattled? The wolf is out now. There we go. Super squirrels out in front there, taking down unit after unit. This wolf runs into the middle of the combat here. Toad's going down.
Wolf just dances forward to the middle of fray.
Gotta be careful there. Wolf down to about 1/4 health there, but a lot of damage done again from Chip from Space. ZenoAkoop losing almost his entire army. And ZenoAkoop in a little bit of a rough position now. Chip from Space going to use that wolf to start buffing his pigs. He's going to start to pull way ahead in terms of economy.
He definitely was able to pull slightly ahead with that fight, but now the wolf buffing his economy on top of just taking and just slightly winning that fight is going to be massive. If Zeno realizes this and goes in.
Zeno on the high ground for the last stand there. Toad after toad going down. 3 toads again going down. The wolf buffing as many units as it can. And ZenoAkoop losing the last squirrel on that high ground. The reinforcements straggling in, getting it taken down. And Chip from Space is going to take a game off of ZenoAkoop. There we go. Score is now 3-1 in favor of ZenoAkoop. Chip from Space got to win 3 games in a row if he wants to win this tournament.
He also was very clever with his wolf micro because it went down to half HP like 3 times, and that's enough to kill off 6 squirrels.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe not 6, but I haven't done the math yet.
All right, into the map draft of Game 5 of the Grand Finals Best of 7 of Clash of Comrades January campaign, Week 2, first standard tournament. ZenoAkoop going for that owl. Worked pretty well for him the last time he used it. Barbed wire again. We'll see if he can catch Chip from Space off guard. Ooh, deciding not to take that barbed wire. Chip from Space again, not with any melee units right now. And if ZenoAkoop locks in that barbed wire, which it looks like he has at the moment, Chip from Space is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Luckily with the wolf, they will walk faster through the barbed wire. But that'll be super late game. Or super early, depending on how Chip plays. You have seen them rush tier 3.
All right, locking in that machine gun turret. So Chip from Space with nothing to attack barbed wire against ZenoAkoop, who has that barbed wire and definitely knows how to use it. He's an experienced and seasoned player. Into game 5 of this best of 7 set, we've got ZenoAkoop in the west as red as Hopper. Chip from Space in the east on an awful island base. Well, maybe not awful. Let's see how he uses it as the quartermaster in green. How do you feel about this, Galantley?
I think the big thing to notice is not that it's so much hurts him in terms of like favorability, it just limits what he can do. I think he can only get up to like 6 warrens before he has to expand, which is pretty bad if he wants to do in just one base aggressive stuff.
Where does he expand from that base there? Does he go north? Does he go south? Does he go middle?
He goes north because that's the way you'd walk. And it provides the most land. If he goes south, he doesn't actually get that much more warren space.
Yeah. ZenoAkoop, in the meantime, with a lovely expansion, a natural expansion to the west of his main base.
Also a great map for barbed wire.
Yes. Chip from Space putting his warrens out in the front there. Gonna be a nice place to put them, defend, and make sure he can take that base out in front. Make sure he doesn't get locked in. ZenoAkoop could go for a crazy little strategy of blocking off because he doesn't have that barbed wire. Decides not to go there. One piece of barbed wire down in front. ZenoAkoop going for squirrels. Chip from Space going for squirrels. We've got squirrels on squirrels.
And Zeno just expands here, seeing the expand. As I said earlier, Zeno does not think that squirrels are enough to pressure on their own. So rather than try to contest that, he goes and expands.
There we go. Chip from Space up to 6 squirrels. ZenoAkoop just getting his 6th out now. More barbed wire creeping across the map. Chip from Space isn't going to attack into here. He sees 2 warrens. He sees some squirrels out. So he must figure that ZenoAkoop has expanded, as he has in previous games. Remember, if Chip loses this game, ZenoAkoop wins the tournament and becomes your Week 2 champion.
Both sides econing up, and Chip goes to 9 squirrels, but I don't think he's going to be able to attack until he gets a lot more army.
Alright, Chip has scouted that expansion now. We'll see how he responds. He's going to put a machine gun turret up in front and put one more farm down. So he's going to have to pressure very quickly. ZenoAkoop up to 16 farms and Chip from Space is 12. And that barbed wire is going to prove a little bit difficult for him, especially assaulting onto that high ground. Chip's going to, while Chip does have a little bit of a control over this neck here, ZenoAkoop is going to have a huge advantage here.
Zeno,
first.
Again, continuing the theme of thinking that Chip can't attack, has placed an Owl Warren, which puts Chip in an awkward position where he has to somehow use his limited space and resources and be able to push through.
And on top of all that, ZenoAkoop grabbing that southern base as an expansion, so even if Chip from Space manages to lock him in his base, ZenoAkoop will have a nice Dead Bones expansion in the south. Difficult to get to for Chip from Space.
Chip is going for the wolf, which I think will do well against the owl, as you can use your buffed units to snipe down the mice before they get to you. And it, certainly, but he can't really know what tier 3 Zeno is going for if he predicts he is going for 1, so it could be, from Chip's perspective, it's quite a risky play, but...
Alright, Owl at about 3/4 right now. Going for Skunks is ZenoAkoop's next move. Chip from Space does have those pigeons, but they won't completely counter that skunk gas, of course. 15 squirrels on Chip from Space's side, going up to 15 for ZenoAkoop. Moving out now with that owl there. ZenoAkoop is very much ahead in terms of army value.
Chip's going for a second wolf.
Oh no. I don't think ZenoAkoop has not scouted that main base in a long time, does not see that second tier Warren, tier 2, tier 3 Warren is going up, so we'll see Chip from Space may be able to pull ahead with this. ZenoAkoop on 20 farms, Chip from Space on 16.
Zeno is going for a second owl as well. Which...
Oh. Both players with a lot of food in the bank. That first wolf is out there. Second wolf is about a quarter done. The second tier 3 Warren is out for ZenoAkoop. Second owl is building. 2 owls versus 2 wolves. This is going to be quite a showdown in the middle here. Nice skinny bridge there and 3 machine guns from ChipFromSpace. ZenoAkoop is just going to take that southern expansion again. Going to keep expanding.
Chip is going up to 6 falcons, which I think are the best unit Chip can ask for against owls.
Against owls. And also those skunks there. The skunks, of course, can't hit the falcons in the air. The falcons fly above that skunk gas. So we'll see. ChipFromSpace might be able to pull this off here. ZenoAkoop has a lot of food in the bank, going for 3 owls.
I think he's just content to wait it out and see what works.
All right, machine guns versus mice there. The mice get taken out, but take down 1 Warren in return there. So a little bit of the meat shield is gone. This is going to be an enormous clash.
Let's hope both competitors have up-to-date computers, because Zeno's going up to 4 owls.
Let's hope we have a computer that's powerful enough to stream this.
Yeah. Hopefully the viewers will get to see what happens.
4 owls, as ZenoAkoop's going to go up to right now. And that's getting to the point where you can just kind of stream mice. That's 4 mice every few seconds coming out.
So Chip has sent his falcons in without the rest of his army.
Oh, here we go. The main army's clashing in the middle here. The wolves a little bit behind now buffing everything in sight. The falcons forced to return a little bit, but there's hitting some of the bases on in the meantime. They do take out 1 fully farming base from ZenoAkoop, but so much skunk gas now in the middle. That's a lot of farms that ChipFromSpace is going to lose out on. Both wolves are still out there. A lot of red gas down on the field. All the owls are done. 1 owl reinforcing right now. The falcons coming in from the side now, unaffected by that skunk gas, able to take out all of ZenoAkoop's army.
And the buffed falcons come through.
Now the falcons, buffed falcons, flying at lightning speed across the map. ChipFromSpace saving these 2 wolves here, and ZenoAkoop's in a lot of trouble.
Zeno had a great play by buying that expand right there, because it meant that the falcons, when they came up to reinforce, attacked that instead of his army. But when as soon as they got buffed by the wolves, it just completely changed, and it didn't matter that they weren't attacking. They were able to more than make up for it.
All right, base going down, and ZenoAkoop knows he's got to meet the army in the middle here. The falcons out in front. They are buffed. 2 wolves, 2 owls running into the mix. 1 goes down. The second one hasn't been targeted yet. There it goes. It is down now. But ZenoAkoop has so many squirrels out on the field. The wolves forced to run away.
He's taken down all the falcons.
All the falcons down. Wolves forced to sit there, and ChipFromSpace is now starving. Unfortunately, it looked so promising for ChipFromSpace. ZenoAkoop also on 1 farm, so if ChipFromSpace can use his last units carefully, he might still have a chance here.
Both players are starving now.
There we go. Both players starving. ChipFromSpace going to starve a little bit sooner there. ZenoAkoop going to push in. We'll see if it goes down to the clock here. About 10 seconds separating these starving timers. And ChipFromSpace is going to try and pick off units if he can. He's getting stuck in the water there. They are running very quickly through the water. And ChipFromSpace
chasing them.
ChipFromSpace does not have another base, so if this goes down, he loses. 26 seconds left on the clock, and there we go. ZenoAkoop is your champion in a nail-biter of a last match. 4 games to 1. Your champion for the January campaign, Week 2. GG.
I had no idea how that last match was going to end.